Hello, my fine fishing friends. Welcome back. Today we're talking about the Kastking Crixus bait casting reel. This set me back $57.99 of my own hard-earned money. And I'll tell you what, for that money, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a pretty good reel. For the money, no, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a great reel, period. Now, this is just a great looking reel, great feeling reel. Nothing about it feels cheap. Bearings, everything feels good. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't really have any experience with Cast King. My dad has a few of their reels and really likes them, but me personally, I'd never really used them. Here I'm using one of my dinner spinners, which is just a converted inline spinner, so you can put soft plastics on there. Did a quick little change to the spool tension. The spool tension knob on this has a really nice solid click for each spot. Feels good. Feels high end. Really like it. First cast on the old dinner spinner there, got a hook up with a bass, and reel felt great. Plenty of horsepower. Drag stayed exactly where I set it, and I still had a ton of drag I could have set. So felt good on the fish, and everything about it, again, it just feels good. The bearings feel good. There's no grindiness to it. I tried to cast quite a few different things throughout the day. Some of that's reflected in the video. Like here, for instance, I just nose hooked this boot tail. I think that's from 13 Fishing Churro, something like that. But that's just a nose hooked soft plastic. This bad boy had no problems flinging that thing halfway across the pond. The tension knob as well as the magnetic brake is really good, really sensitive. You don't have to do a bunch of clicks to change things. One click, things really change. So everything on there is very true and feels high end. I mean, the only thing is the housing, of course, is plastic, but here you can see I'm throwing this, no thumb on, got everything set and beautiful. Lure hits the water, spool stops right where it's supposed to stop. Actually got a hook up here while showing you all that. But yeah, everything on this thing feels great. Again, I'd never really had any hands-on experience with Cast King before. My father has spoke highly of them, and for the money, I just finally wanted to give one a try just to see what they were all about. And needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised. Nice little chunky fish here off the chatterbait. Of course, throwing jigs, chatterbaits, spinner baits, all that good stuff. This thing will rip them and zip them. I threw lightweight crankbaits, heavier crankbaits. I threw some Cincos without any weight. I really tried to put a lot on this reel just to get an idea of how it handled different things. And this thing really feels high end to me, to be honest. Again, the only thing on it is, the housing on the reel is plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like it's got some weight behind it. Feels like it'll hold up. But where things really matter, everything feels great. Magnetic drag again has click system, so you can really tell when you're switching from 1 to 2 or whatever it may be. The spool tension has clicks in between each setting, so you can really feel what you're doing. Everything feels good on this reel. I was thoroughly impressed with it all the way across the board. I just paired it on a Abu Garcia Vigilance here, kind of a lower end medium rod, because that's something that I had available. So I just stuck it on there. It's not a very expensive rod. Ultimately, you could probably get this same setup if you bought everything I'm using here. It would be, you know, 50, call it round up $60 for the reel and about $40 for the rod. So not an insanely expensive setup. But that being said, it's a great feeling setup. So thank you all.